Welcome, everyone. Today, we are talking about something that controls your thoughts, your words, your relationships, your success, and even your peace of mind. Something so powerful that if you don't learn to manage it, it will destroy everything you're trying to build. That something is your emotions. You've felt it before. That one argument that ruined your entire day. That one insult that echoed in your head for hours. That one small disappointment that triggered a storm inside you and made you say or do something you regret. We've all been there, because emotions are not small, they are powerful. But here's the truth. You are not weak for having emotions. You are only weak if you let them control your life. This video is not about becoming emotionless. This is not about pretending to be strong. This is about becoming emotionally intelligent, emotionally disciplined, and emotionally powerful. And I'm going to show you 10 psychological, practical, and real-life lessons that can help you do exactly that, starting today. And if you're learning English, this video will help you even more, because every word you hear, every sentence you understand, every powerful idea you learn, it's training your brain to think in English. You're not just becoming emotionally stronger, you're becoming fluent, confident, and clear. So don't leave halfway. Watch till the end. And if you want more videos that improve your life and your English, hit subscribe right now and become part of something powerful. Lesson 1. Understand the root of emotion. If you truly want to control your emotions, this is where you begin. Don't fight your emotions. Understand them. Most people try to suppress their feelings. They tell themselves, I shouldn't be angry. I shouldn't feel this jealous. I shouldn't be sad. But the more you fight a feeling, the more it fights back. Because your emotions are not your enemy. They are messengers. Every emotion is a signal. Anger usually hides pain or injustice. Jealousy often hides insecurity or comparison. Fear hides vulnerability or lack of preparation. Sadness hides grief, loss, or unmet expectations. When you feel something strong, instead of reacting blindly, pause and ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Because most of the time, your emotional explosion is not about the current moment. It's about something deeper, something older, something you've been carrying. Imagine a man shouting at his colleague for forgetting to send a file. But in reality, he's not angry at the file. He's angry at how disrespected he feels. Because for years, he was ignored in his family. Every small mistake now feels like another proof that he doesn't matter. See? The real emotion isn't about now. It's about the past. And the story he told himself. That's what you need to understand. You don't just feel emotions. You carry them. And if you don't deal with the root, they will explode at the wrong time, on the wrong people. So how do you apply this in your life? Here's a step-by-step approach. 1. Label the emotion. Say it clearly. I feel angry. I feel ignored. I feel anxious. Naming it weakens it. It creates space between you and it. 2. Ask where it's coming from. Is it from this moment? Or is it connected to a past wound, a fear, a disappointment? 3. Don't judge it. Just observe it like a scientist. Interesting. I get angry when I feel unimportant. 4. Express it in a safe way. Write it. Speak it calmly. Move your body. Cry if needed. But don't bottle it up or throw it at someone else. If you don't understand the root of your emotion, you will. Blame people who don't deserve it. Break relationships that could be healed. Hurt yourself over and over again. But once you understand it, you take back control. You stop being the victim of your feelings, and you start becoming the master of your responses. That's the first step to emotional freedom. Lesson 2. Don't react. Observe. You are not weak because someone triggered you. You are weak when you let that trigger control your actions. Think about this. Someone insults you. Someone ignores you. Someone says something unfair. Or life hits you with a problem you didn't expect. What do? If you react instantly, with anger, shouting, complaining, crying, you give your power away. But if you observe and wait, you gain clarity. You gain strength. And most importantly, you gain control. Why do we react so fast? Because we are emotionally wired to protect ourselves. It's human nature. When something hurts or scares us, the brain sends a signal to fight, run, or freeze. That's called the emotional brain, the amygdala. It's fast, automatic, and intense. But here's the problem. The emotional brain is powerful, but it's not wise. It doesn't think about long-term consequences. It doesn't understand peace. It doesn't care about your relationships or your dreams. It just wants you to protect yourself. Now. So, if someone says one bad word, the emotional brain says, yell back, insult them, prove them wrong. And if you follow that voice, you lose. You may win the argument, but you lose your peace, your respect, and your focus. What's the solution? Train your observing mind. The observing mind is the wise part of you, the calm part, the part that sees everything but chooses carefully. The observing mind says, "This is just a feeling. I don't need to act on it. Let me wait before I respond." What is the best response for my long-term peace? And here's the truth most people never understand. The longer you wait to respond, the stronger you become. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who worked in a restaurant. One day, a rich customer started shouting at him because the order was delayed. The young man felt angry. He wanted to shout back. His body was shaking. His emotions were ready to explode. But instead of reacting, he paused. He took 3 deep breaths. He said nothing, just observed. Later, the manager told him, "You handled that with maturity." The next month, the same manager promoted him. Why? Because the ability to stay calm when it's hard is rare. It's powerful. And it shows that you are not controlled by emotions. You are in control of them. 1. Breathe before you speak. When emotions rise, take 3 deep breaths. This activates the thinking part of your brain and calms the emotional storm. 2. Say to yourself, "This is temporary. I will not react. I will respond wisely." 3. Buy time. Say, "Let me get back to you in a moment." Or, "Give me a minute to think." You don't have to answer anyone immediately, unless it's an emergency. 4. Journal it. If something triggers you emotionally, write it down. What happened? What did I feel? What can I learn? Because reacting is easy. Anyone can shout. Anyone can argue. But observing is strength. The most powerful person is not the loudest. It's the one who responds, not reacts. When you observe instead of react, you become harder to manipulate. You protect your mental energy. You stay focused on your goals. You feel proud of your maturity. And most importantly, you build peace. And peace is the highest success. Lesson 3. Cognitive restructuring. Reframe your thoughts. This is one of the most powerful tools in psychology. It's called cognitive restructuring, and it can change your life. Let me explain it in simple words. Your emotions are not created by situations. They are created by how you interpret those situations. It's not what happens to you. It's what you tell yourself about what happens to you. That inner story, that mental voice, creates your feelings. For example, you see your friend talking to someone else and not noticing you. You instantly feel hurt. You tell yourself, she's ignoring me. Maybe she doesn't care about me anymore. Now you feel emotional pain, maybe jealousy, maybe anger. But what if you had a different thought? She's probably busy, maybe she didn't see me. I'll talk to her later, no big deal. Now your emotions are different. You feel calm, you feel patient. See the difference? The same situation. Two different thoughts. Two different emotional reactions. This is the core of cognitive restructuring. Change the story in your mind, and you'll change how you feel. Most people don't even question their thoughts. They just believe them. Not all your thoughts are true. Some are distorted. Some are exaggerated. Some are from childhood. Some are based on fear, not facts. Your job is to catch those thoughts, question them, and restructure them. Catch the thought. Pause and ask, what exactly am I telling myself? Challenge the thought. Ask, is this 100% true? Is this helpful? What's another way to look at it? Choose a better thought. Replace it with something more balanced, calm, or realistic. Situation. You made a small mistake at work. Old thought. I'm so stupid. I always mess up. Emotion. Shame, guilt, anxiety. New thought. Everyone makes mistakes. This is a chance to learn and grow. Emotion. Calm, motivated. Do you see the power in that? One thought brings you down. Another thought lifts you up. Your emotions follow your thoughts. So train your thoughts. Whenever you feel a strong emotion, pause. Write down what happened. Write the thought you had. Write 2 alternative ways to think about it. Choose the one that brings you peace and growth. This technique is used by top psychologists, athletes, entrepreneurs, and even monks. Because they understand, the most powerful skill in life is not changing the world. It's changing the way you think. You don't need a perfect life to feel better. You just need a strong mind that knows how to reframe every situation wisely. And once you learn this, your emotions will no longer control you. You will control them. Lesson 4. Train your thoughts daily. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your mental habits. If you want to control your emotions, then you must understand this truth. Your emotions follow your thoughts. If you think you're a failure, you'll feel hopeless. If you think you're not loved, you'll feel broken. If you think people are against you, you'll feel defensive, angry, or insecure. But if you start changing your thoughts, your emotions will change automatically. Emotions don't come from outside. They come from inside. And your thoughts are the source. You may not be able to control every situation, but you can train your mind every single day, because your mind is like a wild horse. If you don't train it, it will throw you off. You have to guide your thoughts like a trainer guides an animal, with daily repetition, with discipline, with awareness. How do you train your thoughts? Not once, not twice. Every day, just like brushing your teeth, just like going to the gym. You must create a daily routine of mental training that rewires your emotional response. Let me give you the 5-step practice that has helped thousands of people rebuild their emotional control. 1. Morning mental repetition. Wake up and say out loud, I am in control of how I respond. I don't need to react to everything. My peace is more important than proving a point. Even if you don't believe it yet, say it, because repetition changes your brain. Every time you repeat a thought, you're strengthening a neural pathway. And the stronger that pathway becomes, the faster your brain goes there automatically. You're building emotional muscle memory. 2. Midday emotional check-in. Set a reminder at 1 p.m. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? What thoughts are creating this feeling? Is this helpful, or is this harming me? Why? Because most people live the whole day without questioning their mental state. But awareness is the beginning of emotional control. 3. Reframe negative thoughts. Instantly. As soon as a negative thought comes, catch it and talk back. For example, thought, I can't do this. Response, that's not true. I've overcome things before. I'll figure it out. Make it a habit to talk back to your mind. If you don't, your mind will become your master. 4. Evening mental download. At night, write these 3 questions in a journal. What emotion did I feel most today? What thought created it? How could I think differently next time? Writing is a mirror for the mind. It makes your thinking visible. 5. Protect your mental environment. Don't let garbage enter your mind. Limit negative people. Cut down on toxic content. Don't start your day with social media or drama. Because just like your body becomes what you eat, your mind becomes what you feed it. There was a woman who used to get triggered easily. At work, at home, even small things would set her off. Then one day she decided, I'm going to train my mind like an athlete. She started waking up early, repeating positive statements, questioning her thoughts, writing at night, avoiding gossip and news. Within 30 days, she noticed something. She was no longer exploding in anger. She was able to pause, breathe, and respond calmly. Her relationships improved, her health improved, her confidence grew. What changed? Not the world, her mind. You can't live a positive life with a negative mind. If you want to change your emotions, You have to train your thoughts every single day. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. The stronger your thoughts, the quieter your emotional storms. And eventually, you become someone that no situation, no insult, no stress can break. That's emotional mastery, and it starts in your thoughts. Lesson 5. Physical movement changes emotion. You feel stuck? Move your body. You feel overwhelmed? Move your body. You feel lost? Move your body. Let me tell you something that most people ignore. Your emotions live in your body, not just in your mind. That's why when you feel anxious, your chest feels tight. When you're sad, your shoulders droop. When you're angry, your fists clench. Your breathing changes, your body heats up. Emotion equals energy in motion. And if you want to control that energy, you need to use movement. People try to fix emotional problems by only thinking. But sometimes, no amount of thinking can change what only movement can heal. Your body stores stress. Your muscles carry sadness. Your posture reflects your mental state. If you sit still all day, scroll your phone, isolate yourself, your emotions become trapped. But the moment you move, something shifts. You release. You refresh. You reset. There was a student preparing for exams who used to feel anxious all the time. He tried meditation. He tried journaling. He tried thinking positive. Nothing worked. Then one day he started walking in the morning. 30 minutes. No phone, just movement. Within a week, his anxiety levels dropped. His focus returned. His mind became clear. Because when your body moves, your brain heals. Here are powerful movements that reset your emotions. Walking without noise, no music, no podcast. Just walk and let your thoughts clear. This gives your mind space to sort emotional chaos. Stretching. Tension builds in your neck, shoulders, back. When you stretch, you literally release trapped emotion. It's like unclogging a pipe. Cold showers. They shock the nervous system and reset emotional patterns. You can't be in a panic state while controlling your breath under cold water. Fast movement, jumping jacks, push-ups, these burn off adrenaline. When you're angry or frustrated, move fast. Burn it off. Dancing or flow movement. No rules. Just move your body to music or silence. Express through motion. It may feel silly, but it's one of the best emotional releases. When you move, your body releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones. Your nervous system resets. Your focus returns to the present moment. Your breathing slows down, reducing anxiety. You shift from a fight or flight state to a calm and controlled state. That's how movement changes emotion. You don't need to figure everything out. Sometimes, you just need to move. You were never meant to sit and suffer. You were built to move through what you feel. Emotion is not a wall, it's a wave. Let it pass through your body. The next time you feel overwhelmed, angry, sad, anxious, don't just think. Move, breathe, walk, stretch, reset. That is emotional intelligence through action. Lesson 6. Exposure therapy. Face the emotion you run from. There's a reason why some people never grow emotionally, even if they're smart, talented, or successful. It's because they do this one thing again and again. They run away from what makes them uncomfortable. When something feels emotionally difficult, they escape. When something causes anxiety, they avoid it. When something reminds them of pain, they shut down. They change the subject. They distract themselves. They pretend they don't feel it. And slowly, they become emotionally weaker. It's a technique from psychology that helps you reduce emotional fear, not by escaping your triggers, but by gently facing them. The concept is simple but powerful. The more you face what scares you, the less it controls you. Imagine a person who gets panic attacks every time they speak in public. So what do? They avoid every presentation. They say no to meetings. They hide. What's the result? Their fear grows. Their emotional strength shrinks. But if they use exposure therapy, here's what they do instead. Day 1. Speak for 30 seconds to themselves in the mirror. Day 3. Record a short voice note explaining a topic. Day 5. Share their voice in a small group. Day 10. Give a 2-minute talk to a friend. Week 3. Deliver a short message at work. Step by step, the brain learns. This is not dangerous. I can handle this. The emotional fear fades. The confidence grows. Your brain learns from experience. If you keep avoiding what triggers you emotionally, your brain believes, this is something dangerous. This is something I should fear forever. But when you face it, even in small steps, your brain rewires itself. That's how you break emotional patterns. That's how you destroy fear at the root. Let's say you're someone who feels anxious when people argue, feels abandoned when someone doesn't reply quickly, feels worthless when you make a mistake. What do most people do? They avoid the conversation. They over-explain. They blame themselves silently. They try to act normal, but inside they're drowning. Exposure therapy means you begin facing those feelings slowly, with awareness. Here's how. Write down the exact emotion that scares you. Break it into small steps. Create a safe space to face it, little by little. Fear. I feel panicked when someone criticizes me. Exposure. Steps. Read comments online and don't reply. Ask a friend for honest feedback on your work. Post something online and let people react. Say to yourself daily, not everyone has to like me. I am still worthy. Over time, criticism stops feeling like an attack. It becomes something you can handle. That's power. Avoiding emotions is like hiding from your own shadow. You might feel safe in the moment, but the fear never leaves. Face what you fear. And freedom is on the other side. That is how real emotional strength is built. Lesson 7. Master the pause, master your life. There is one skill that will give you emotional power in every area of your life. It's the ability to pause when your emotions are trying to take over. That tiny space between trigger and response, that space is your kingdom. It's where power is born. It's where relationships are saved. It's where mistakes are prevented. It's where wisdom lives. We live in a world of speed. You get a message. You want to reply instantly. Someone insults you. You want to hit back. You feel angry. You want to shout, throw something, storm out. because the emotional brain always wants to act now. But when you pause, you switch off the emotional autopilot, and you switch on your higher brain, the part that thinks long-term. Neuroscience behind it. When you're triggered, the amygdala, emotional brain, takes over. But when you pause, even for 6 seconds, your prefrontal cortex, thinking brain, activates. This shift allows you to think before you speak, consider the consequences, protect your peace, make decisions that serve your future, not your temporary feelings. Example: you get an email from your boss criticizing your work. You feel your heart racing. Your hands want to type an angry response, but instead, you close your laptop, walk away, breathe. 1 hour later, you respond calmly. Thanks for the feedback. Let me explain what happened and how I'll fix it. Result? You keep your reputation. You keep your job. You keep your dignity. You're in an argument with your partner. You feel misunderstood. You're about to say something cruel. But you pause. You look down. Take 3 deep breaths. Instead of exploding, you say, "Let's talk when we're both calm. I don't want to say something I'll regret." That's emotional maturity. That's strength. How to train the pause. Use a power phrase. When you feel triggered, say in your mind, "Wait, I control what happens next." Count backwards. Say, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This activates your thinking brain. Create a ritual. Before any response, email, text, call, train yourself to pause for at least 10 seconds. Journal your triggers. Write, "What triggered me today? Did I pause or did I react? How could I handle it better next time?" Reflection builds future control. In business, a pause before negotiation can win deals. In relationships, a pause before reacting can save love. In leadership, a pause before judgment can gain respect. In personal growth, a pause before quitting can reveal your strength. You don't always get to choose what life throws at you, but you always get to choose how you respond. And that choice, that moment, will define the quality of your life. Master the pause, and you master everything. Lesson 8. Replace reaction with purpose. Don't act on emotion. Act on intention. This is one of the greatest signs of emotional mastery. The ability to pause and choose purpose instead of reaction. Let's be honest. Most people are reactive. Someone disrespects them, they react with anger. Someone ignores them, they react with overthinking. Life doesn't go their way, they react with frustration, complaining, or giving up. But here's the question: is your reaction helping you or hurting you? Because the truth is, every reaction creates results, and most of the time, we regret them later. When you react based on raw emotion, you say things you don't mean. You make decisions you later regret. You push away people you actually love. You create long-term pain from short-term feelings. Let me give you an example. A man is arguing with his wife. He feels disrespected. He reacts instantly. "You never listen to me. You always treat me like I don't matter." What's the result? She shuts down. The room becomes cold. Trust is broken. But if he had paused and asked himself, "What do I want from this moment? What's my purpose, not just my feeling?" He may have said, "Can we talk later? I'm feeling overwhelmed and I don't want to hurt you with my words. That one change in purpose would have saved everything. This is the power of purpose. Feelings are real, but purpose is more powerful. Every time you feel triggered, ask, what outcome do I want? Is my reaction helping that outcome? What would a calm, wise version of me do right now? When you shift from reaction to purpose, you stop being a prisoner of the moment. You become the designer of your future. You build relationships based on wisdom, not wounds. Train your mind with these practices. Create an intention. Question. Whenever you feel emotionally charged, ask, what is the wise response here? If I react emotionally, what might I destroy? What does the best version of me want from this moment? Visualize the aftermath. Before reacting, picture the consequences. Ask yourself, what will I feel 10 minutes after I do this? Will I be proud of this decision tomorrow? That's how you stop impulsive actions and choose emotional discipline. Repeat this mantra daily. I respond with purpose, not impulse. Say it every morning, before work, before meetings, before conversations. Make it your identity. Imagine, a student fails an exam. He feels ashamed. He wants to react by giving up. But he pauses, reflects. His purpose is to succeed. So he studies harder. 1 month later, he passes. A businesswoman loses a deal. She feels disappointed. She wants to react by blaming her team. But she pauses. Her purpose is leadership, so she communicates with clarity. Her team stays loyal. A young man is ghosted by someone he loves. He wants to react with anger, messages, desperation. But he pauses. His purpose is self-respect. So he lets go and grows. Every emotional moment is a test. Reaction is failure. Purpose is mastery. You have the power to choose. You can say, I don't feel like being calm, but I choose calm anyway. That's emotional maturity. That's how peace is built. That's how greatness is built. From now on, don't ask, what do I feel like doing? Ask, what's the right thing to do, no matter how I feel? That's how you replace reaction with purpose. That's how you change your life. Lesson 9. Emotional regulation. Build a system to stay calm. This is not just a technique. This is a lifestyle. Emotional regulation means having a system in place, so your emotions don't control you in the heat of the moment. Most people only try to manage emotions after they explode. But emotional regulation is different. It's proactive. It's intentional. It means creating habits, routines, awareness. So your emotional system becomes balanced before the problem even shows up. It's like strengthening your immune system, not waiting for the disease. Let's be clear. Emotional outbursts don't come from nowhere. They come from built-up stress, unhealed wounds, and lack of systems. If you don't have a plan, the emotions will control you. And one uncontrolled emotion can destroy years of progress. So the wise don't just ask, how do I stop getting angry? They ask, what systems do I have in place so I don't get angry so easily in the first place? Know your triggers. Who makes you feel out of control? What kind of situations push you emotionally? What time of day are you weakest? Write it down. Knowing your triggers is the first step to neutralizing them. Awareness is the beginning of self-mastery. Regulate your nervous system. You can't control your emotions if your nervous system is always tense. Start doing this daily. Box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Cold showers to reset your system. Grounding walks, 20 minutes in nature without noise. Stretching and physical body scans. Your nervous system is the engine of your emotions. Keep it balanced. Emotion processing ritual. Create a daily ritual to process how you feel. Morning. Write down 3 emotions you're carrying. Afternoon. Ask yourself, which one needs my attention? Night. Reflect on how you handled your emotions that day. This is not weakness. This is what elite athletes, CEOs, monks, and Navy SEALs do. They train their mind like a muscle. Have an emergency calm plan. When you're triggered, don't try to figure it out in the heat of the moment. Have a pre-decided plan. Walk away. Go silent for 15 minutes. Splash water on your face. Open a calm playlist. Journal your first 3 emotional thoughts without judgment. When you feel out of control, your system will carry you. That's emotional regulation. You don't fix emotions by willpower. You fix them by creating systems that protect your peace. Emotional regulation isn't about pretending to be calm. It's about building a life that supports emotional stability. You become someone who doesn't get easily triggered, who bounces back faster, who makes people feel safe and calm just by your presence. That is real emotional power, and you don't need talent to build it. You need a system. Start today. Build your regulation system and watch your emotional life transform. Lesson 10. Silence is your superpower. You don't need to raise your voice. You need to rise above. Let this truth settle in. The most powerful person in any room is not the loudest. It's the one who knows when to stay silent. In a world that rewards noise, drama, and fast reaction, silence is seen as weakness. But in reality, silence is control. Silence is protection. Silence is strength. When your emotions are screaming inside you and you still choose to stay calm, that's not suppression. That's mastery. Silence disconnects you from chaos. When someone shouts at you, they want a reaction. When life throws pressure at you, it wants panic. When emotions rise, they demand drama. But when you stay silent, you break the chain. You stop adding fuel to the fire. You stop becoming a puppet of the moment. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Silence protects your dignity. Sometimes words become weapons, and once released, they can't be taken back. One emotionally charged sentence can damage a lifelong relationship, end a business deal, break someone's spirit. But silence protects everything. It gives you space to think, to breathe, to choose the right words, or no words at all. Silence reveals strength. People think strength means dominance, proving your point, winning the argument, shouting louder. But real strength is this: being so secure in your identity that you don't need to explain, defend, or prove anything to anyone. You let your actions speak. You let your peace speak. You let your silence do the talking. And when you do speak, your words carry weight. Because they're rare, thoughtful, controlled. For example, a CEO known across industries for his calm presence. In meetings where others raised their voices, he stayed silent. When deals became heated, he leaned back, listening. When people tried to provoke him, he smiled, paused, and didn't respond immediately. Someone once asked him, "Why don't you react? Don't you care?" He said, "If I react to every mosquito bite, I'll spend my whole life scratching instead of building." That's power. That's vision. That's emotional intelligence. Let's make it real and practical. Here are situations where silence becomes your weapon. In arguments. Don't argue to win. Let the other person exhaust their fire. Your silence will make them reflect faster than your words. In conflict. Take a break. Walk away. Let emotions cool. Silence protects your peace when words can't. In manipulation. When someone tries to trigger or control you, don't react. Silence shows they no longer have power over you. In overthinking. Not every thought deserves attention. Sit in silence. Observe your thoughts like clouds passing by. In self-growth. Reflect in silence. Journal in silence. Walk in silence. This is where self-awareness is born. Some people fear silence because they think it means weakness or ignorance. But here's the truth. Silence is not the absence of response. It's the preparation of a better response. It gives you space to think wisely. Choose clarity over chaos. Decide whether this situation deserves your energy at all. You're not avoiding the moment. You're mastering it from within. In every spiritual tradition, silence is seen as divine. The monks in the mountains, the warriors before battle, the wise teacher before giving advice. All of them practiced the power of stillness, because silence connects you to your inner world, not the noise of the outer world. Silent mornings. Start your day without noise. No phone, no conversation, just sit, breathe, reflect. It sets the emotional tone for your entire day. The 10-second rule. Before reacting to anything, count 10 seconds of silence. Then ask, is this worth it? Or is silence stronger? Silent walks. Take 10 to 15-minute walks without music or talking. Let your mind declutter. You'll find answers in the silence. Respond late. Not every message or comment needs an instant reply. Sometimes the delay is the answer. When you are silent, you protect your energy. You gain clarity. You stop feeding what doesn't deserve to grow. You no longer react like a slave to emotion. You rise like a master of your inner world. And that, more than anything else, is emotional power. Let the world talk. Let chaos scream. You stay still. You stay wise. You stay silent. Because your silence speaks the loudest. Now listen to me carefully. The world doesn't need more people who explode when they're angry, who break down every time life gets heavy, who run away from pressure, pain, and discomfort. The world needs you. Emotionally strong, clear, focused, powerful, in control. Because emotions are not your enemy. They are not something to fear. They are energy. And if you learn how to direct that energy, you become unstoppable. No one was born with perfect emotional control. It's a skill, a discipline, a practice, and you can build it. Day by day. Breath by breath, moment by moment. There will still be storms. There will still be triggers. There will still be days when your feelings try to take over your life. But when that moment comes, you'll remember these lessons. You'll pause. You'll observe. You'll choose purpose. You'll protect your energy. And you'll rise. Because you are no longer a slave to emotion. You are the master of your inner world. And once you master yourself, nothing outside of you can defeat you. So don't just watch this video and walk away. Live it. Apply it. Train it. This is your life. This is your mind. This is your power. Take it back. And from this moment forward, let every emotion remind you, I am not my feelings. I am the force that chooses what to do with them. That is who you are now. That is who you've always been. Now go build the life your emotions once tried to destroy. With discipline, with awareness, and with absolute emotional power.